to Inside the Business. I'm your host, Ed O'Neill, and here at Inside the Business, I go to different businesses to find out how they got started. Get a chance to watch their daily operations as I ask them important questions about their business and its industry. Everyone at some point in time has been to the salon or the barbershop, but may not understand the business of barbering and cosmetology. So I decided to go to one of the prominent salon and barbershops in Gainesville, Florida called Coconut Salon and Barbershop. See how Coconuts got started while gaining knowledge on how to become a barber or a cosmetologist. So grab a pen and pad, sit back, and take notes.
Welcome to Gainesville, Florida. This is my business, Coconut Salon and Barbershop. I'm the proud owner. Been the owner of Coconut Salon and Barbershop now for 15 years, serving the city of Gainesville, Florida.
So do you need a license to become a barber?
To cut hair, you don't need a license. But in order for you to become a barber, you do need a license. Or for you to carry the title barber, you need a license. No difference as being a doctor. You don't want to be whipping up stuff and giving it to people without a degree, or a PhD as a doctor. Same difference is, you have to get extensive training and knowing how to deal with different chemicals and sharp objects, practice, a lot of practice in order to be titled a barber.
Okay, well then, so what are the steps of becoming a barber then?
The first step is you got to find a good school. When I went to school, I could give you a page from, my book. When I went to school, it cost $3,500. Also, you had to do 1,200 clock hours to be a barber. You did some theory. You had to do at least 200 on the floor. 200 in the classroom with the theory, learning about, the different skin, knowing about the hair follicles, learning about the different hairstyling, and, even massages, as being a barber. All of that is implemented into, the learning to be a barber.
Okay. So, is there a difference between being a barber and a cosmetologist?
Yeah, yes it is. A cosmetologist cannot use a razor, and a barber can use a razor. That is the only difference between the two.
That's the only difference.
The only difference.
So, do they receive the same training, or does barbers and
their training is a little bit more, excessive, because they deal with more colors. And within the barber's licensing, you could be a restricted barber. That means primarily all you're gonna do is cut hair. Or you'll be a barber stylist. A barber stylist and a cosmetologist are very similar. They do chemicals, they handle hairstyling, they handle all the different colors and stuff, and knowledge of it with the skin and the hair. And the treatment of skin or irregular disorders of the skin and hair, pertaining to barbering. Restricted barbering is primarily more just hair cutting.
Okay. So once you get your license, and let's say you want to start your own barber business, what are some of the steps that you gotta take to do that?
First, get a good location. You have to see if the zoning is prohibited for you to have a barber shop. Second of all is getting a shop license. Third of all, if you're going to be a barber, you need to get a barber's license. And then, look for the state requirements of the county that you're in, because every state has different requirements opposed from the county. The state is the Department of Business and Professional Regulation, and the county is, of course, like Alachua County, the city of Gainesville. So both of them have different requirements in order for you to open a barbershop. Barbering chose me. Back when I was a teenager, my first barbershop was established in the U.S. Virgin Islands on my parents' property, and that was at the age of 15, 16 years old. I started barbering, and it was a crazy experience of starting on my mom's porch, just hooking up the guys, the fellas at school, you know, and it just branched off. I mean, it created the first $800 to put in my pocket to buy a plane ticket to come to the United States. You know, I say it chose me because I'm still doing it, and I promise I don't feel like I ever worked a day in my life because I've been living in my passion.
How to foil, mixing your formula, like products. Some of your products you learn how to use when you go like to hair shows and you take classes. You always have to take classes to stay up on the trends and to stay up on the new products out. So that's why people tend to go to the hair shows or classes throughout the year.
Shows like the Bonner Brothers show?
Bonner Brothers.
Okay. What are some other ones?
The Orlando premiere, that's here in Florida. Bonner Brothers have two shows. They have a spring show and a winter show. The premiere travels from different states as well. But for the most part, I just know about the one in Orlando. There's also a natural hair show that's held in Georgia as well, in Atlanta.
Kristen, so at what point did you decide that you wanted to be a cosmetologist?
Ooh, so I grew up having to be in the salon every 2 weeks, mandatory. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to get up early in the morning and go to the salon. I hated going to the salon. I absolutely hated going to the salon. But being in there made me say, I'm gonna just start doing my own hair. I don't want to come here. So I started doing my own hair at home. I was about 12 years old. I started trying to comb my own hair at home, and it just went from there. I started enjoying it. So I've been wanting to be a hairstylist since I was 12.
So
I thought that was going to change because when I was in high school, I ended up saying, oh, I'm going to go to college. I want to be a teacher. Yeah, I still love doing hair. And, you know, going through the years, I just decided, you know what, let me just go get my license. And I went and got my license. It took a while. It took a while for me to make that decision, but I did. I did.
So was it anybody that kind of like taught you how to do hair before you even went to school? Or you all self-taught?
Well, sitting in the salons, you kind of pick up on a few things.
Right.
Sitting in the salon, you pick up on a few things. I taught myself how to braid at age 12.
So that was the first thing that you taught yourself how to do when you decided that you wanted to start doing hair?
First thing I taught myself how to do was how to put a ponytail in my hair. But I think that's the first major thing. That's the first major thing I feel like that I had learned.
The braids, right?
Yeah, the cornrows, scalp braids.
Within your 4 years of high school and straight out of high school, you had your license and was ready to go.
No, I didn't actually. I got them in '95 later.
Oh, okay.
Because you only get 4 hours a day, and you go to school Tuesday through Saturday. So, you know, we go 4 hours. The bus drop us off, the bus will pick us back up, and then it was left up to us to get our own ride to school, to class on Saturday.
So you couldn't go and get hours somewhere else? You had to always go to school to get hours? You couldn't go like to another shop and volunteer and get hours?
You had to, wherever you, like, our school was called Flavio Beauty College in Torrance, California. And after we finished school, we just went back and continued and got our education for cosmetology. And then that's when you turn your license, go turn your paperwork in and then get your
license, your proof, and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Say you can't give up 'cause times get hard. It's just that old devil trying to keep us apart. Say, devil, you ain't got nothing here. I'm holding to my man, having him. He can go.
What services do you guys provide here?
Oh man, we provide practically everything, from nails to massages to hairstyling. It's a one-stop shop, and of course barbering. And I took my barbering services to another level, dealing with skincare, dealing with steam treatment, facials. And of course razor lining, different hot ladders and different stuff like that, hot towels. Really, it's really a big circle. Barbering been around for a long time. So if you go take some pages in the past, you could use it right now in the present, because there's nothing new under the sun. So you could just look at different barbers in different states and see what they do, and you can implement it into your services and have a nice little upcharge for it also. First, you gotta have a passion for barbering. It gotta be greater than a money thing. Skills, customer service, most definitely, because you gotta learn to communicate. The right clippers, the right tools, it always makes your jobs a lot easier. And the training. I feel like training begin when you're ready to have an open mind to learn, So I started training at the age of 15, and I'm 43 years old, and I'm still in training. So it just, it's levels at this, And I feel like as long as you're open-minded to learn something, you're willing to train to become the best of the best. One thing my mentor from the grave taught me was, if you want success, do not chase success. If you want success, become a person of value. And COVID-19 gave us free advertisement. Everybody knew about barbering. Everybody knew about the salons and the barbershops closing. Everybody knew about the salons and barbershops reopening. And then it became a personal one-on-one with you and your client, prices change, of course, because you can't stack up the barbershops like you did in the past. So now you have one-on-one conversations, one-on-one, I call it VIP, private cuts, because now what I was taking 30 minutes to do, now I take an hour, because now I have to clean up behind that customer, just engage with the customer and learn more about your clients, and it created my value, increased my value. The future is education. I strongly believe in mentorship, and if the only way that my name and the business name could go from year to year is by passing it on to others. And if we could turn this facility, because we practically have the largest facility in Gainesville, turn it into a school, then I could handpick and choose the new barbers in the future. We're located at 3366 Northwest 13th Street, right next to Tires Plus. You just look for the Tires Plus on 13th Street. We've been at this location for 8 years. This is a great location. In form of businesses, location is the #1 ideal tool, to regenerate and to last in longevity in business. Why? Because people got to know where you at. Second of all, we could accommodate, all genders. We could accommodate all races of people. We are a multicultural salon and barbershop. I love my career. My career chose me, and just giving back to someone else and looking at their facial expression and then working with a great conversation, learning the customer and changing stuff not only on the outside, but changing stuff on the inside, rendering your knowledge, rendering your wisdom, rendering your knowledge from God to that customer. It becomes more of a family than just you paying here and you returning next week. We're a family salon, and we always looking forward to meeting new people and bringing in new blood, into the business. We're definitely seeking a mentorship program outside of barbering, teaching young men and women to find the value of themselves, because on the ships on the way over here to America, we somehow lost our value. So through knowledge and implementing the mentorship, we're rising up beautiful people, knowledgeable of themselves and their value. Thank you.
Now that you have knowledge about Coconut Salon and Barbershop, be sure to support them by dropping a comment on their social media or set up an appointment for their services. But most importantly, tell a friend about Coconut Salon and Barbershop, where looking good is understood. And if there's a business that you'd like to see on Inside the Business, go to www.KEPremium.org. That's KEPremium.org. And tell us your story. You may see a business that interests you. Hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for watching.
The other owner is my brother Dale Daniel, who resides in Baltimore. I'm the artistic part of the business. He's the psychological part of the business. And I just want to say big up to all the VI, big up to the customers back in the Virgin Islands that that gave me a chance, and hey, started there, now I'm here, And I'll tell y'all listeners out there, never to despise small beginning. Ain't where you start is where you end.